Anyone else? Right here.
My question may be similar. I'm just wondering what's your analysis of the threat to all of the more populated areas south of 178, such as Onyx, Weldon, South Lake?
Okay, what's our assessment of the threat to anything south of 178?
So, our plan, our long-range plan, is to come in with dozer line primarily, and make a big loop here, and then as this fire moves down, we'll work on it. Now, if this fire moves quicker, then we can put this line in. Then we have a fallback plan. In terms of the threat to these communities like Isabella, Squirrel Valley, Weldon, right now that's a long way off. Okay. Worst case, a few days. Very worst case. You'll have plenty of warning. We also feel that, if this makes a major run to the north, that many of these areas are very workable ground for our troops. So, but nothing in the near future, but never say never. There's always a possibility.
Over here.
I live in Cortez County. My parcel is in that white that butts up against Bright Star Wilderness on both sides, south and east border. The problem that we're experiencing, you've closed our roads, for traffic. We have people coming in that shouldn't be there. They've got stuck on the hill, which is impeding the ingress and egress of your firefighters coming in. They're sitting on the roadway, and it's just dirt roads 3 miles in, and we're the ones, the first one in the line of fire.
Okay, so
and then there are people cruising our area. We all know each other there. There's large parcels. What are you going to do to stop these people coming in? That if the houses that are vacated?
Live in Cortez Canyon, and where the fire's bumped up against the Bright Star Wilderness. And on your particular road, there are folks that are driving in, and they're stopping and parking in the road so that people cannot get in or out easily. And you're concerned about that situation.
This is the first I've heard anything about it, and we will address the issue. If we have people coming in there, unless somebody tells law enforcement that there's a problem, we don't know. Our crystal ball is rather foggy often, and unless you let us know there's a problem, we don't know. But now that we know, we'll address the issue, and we'll have deputies patrol the area and take a look at who's in there and question them and take action. Absolutely.
Okay, so who's next? Right in the back here.
Could you say whether the Clareville area is okay now? I mean, we can't enter, but is it fire safe?
Can you tell us whether the Clareville area is safe now? We can't enter, but we want to know if it's fire safe.
It's safe in terms of losing a home. In terms of returning in there, no. There's still some heat, and there's a lot of engines and crews still working here, and they're working mainly on mop-up, so not yet.
Okay, right here up front.
When you talked about buildings that have been lost, does that include homes or just outbuildings?
When you talk about buildings that have been lost, does that include homes or just outbuildings? Yeah, it's both. We can't confirm any losses today yet, but yeah, it'll include both outbuildings and other structures lost. You're welcome. Right back here. How many total? Well, we haven't lost any recently, but it's been 7 total. A cabin, an old cabin.
Over how long?
Since we've been here, it's about a week. So 1 really old, dilapidated cabin, and then 6 outstructure, outbuildings type. So no homes, okay? That we know of. I can't hear you. Oh, is there an emergency band frequency that we can pick information up on scanners?
No, we're not broadcasting any information that would be helpful to you as far as evacuation over any public radio station. We do have our websites up, and I believe the information's in the back that has the websites. We're updating those. There's at least 10 boards throughout the community that has information. So we're trying to get the information out there, but not over any radio frequency.
But we are providing regular updates to KVLI and the local radio stations here. So we are talking to them regularly. So if you tune in, you can get information from them as well. And they provide updates regularly throughout the day. Yes.
Are you working with the Department of Fish and Game or any agency for animals that are self-evacuating, like the bears and the deer that will be moving down into the urban areas?
Are we working with the Department of Fish and Game for any of the wild animals that might be moving down into other areas as they're driven by the fire? No, we are not. Okay, any more? Last call, you're starting to talk. Okay.
The questions that were written on cards that you addressed.
Oh, thank you. If evacuated, can I make 2 trips? Will I be allowed back in?
When we start the precautionary evacuation, you can come and go as you please. And at the recommended evacuation, you can still probably come back in unless the situation is that the fire personnel are in there trying to fight the fire and we need to close the road to keep it open for the equipment to get in. To keep the road open for equipment will be the only reason we will go to a hard closure where we will have somebody there that does not let somebody in. Because we want you to get your stuff, we want you to get out. But when it comes to the point that you're getting your stuff will hamper the ability of the firefighters to save your house, that's when they're saying, no, you can't go back in. Does that answer your question? I hope.
Who will protect our home when we evacuate? We are a closed area and people are coming in. What do you plan to do about this?
Was that your question? Did you write that down? Or does this, if anybody that's in an area that's been evacuated has concerns about vehicles and people coming in, after the meeting, come let me know. If nobody tells us there's a problem we don't know there is, we don't just assume there's a problem. So you come out to the meeting, tell me where you live, tell me what the issue is, and we will get the staff to address the issue and make sure the deputies in Kernville are aware of it and deal with it.